There is no question that this attempted terrorist suicide attack in a New York City subway was frightening. It exposed what we already knew, that the New York City subways are easy targets. And with this online threat from ISIS, we have to be even more vigilant during the Christmas holiday. However, we have a couple of things going for us. Our intelligence community has been exemplary in rooting out terrorist plots, and ISIS has been decimated over the past year. The caliphate is kalaput, leaving ISIS to attempt to recruit lone wolves over the internet. The problem is they don't attract the best and the brightest. They attract dumb and dumber, weak-minded, disenfranchised social rejects looking for some acceptance. That has been a big part of our protection against attack. The fact that the attackers are imbeciles. Let's start with this dope. 27-year-old Akayed Ullah, who moved to Brooklyn from Bangladesh. He's in the hospital after the pipe bomb he strapped to himself prematurely sizzled before he could get on the subway. It burned his hands and his stomach. He wasn't a suicide terrorist. He was a stand back or I'll singe myself terrorist. He's just the latest in a long line of morons whose explosives snapped and crackled but didn't pop. Remember this guy, the shoe bomber? His only victim was his right foot when his shoe started smoking on a flight to Paris. Richard Reed is now serving a life sentence without parole, but it's because of him we all have to take our shoes off when we go through security at the airport. And then there's this guy, the underwear bomber. He singed his nether regions when his bomb didn't go off on the tarmac in Detroit. Abdul Matula is also serving a life sentence without parole, but it's because of him many of us have to go through body imaging at the airport. Then there's this special idiot. Faisal Shahzad tried to blow up Times Square with a bomb he put in a van. The bomb didn't go off, and he left a receipt with his address on it in the glove box. He's also going to spend the rest of his life in federal prison. Speaking of vans, how about this guy? Mohammed Salema. He was one of the Egyptian militants who tried to blow up the World Trade Center with a van full of explosives back in 1993. He was caught by the FBI when he went back to Ryder Truck, where he rented the van, to try to get his deposit back. And there are many examples of wannabe terrorists who thought they were talking to ISIS but were actually talking to the FBI. And then you have this flock of fools who planned an attack on Fort Dix. The 6 Muslim immigrants spent weeks videotaping the facility and then took the video to a local store to have it transferred onto a disc. The store owner called the FBI. They're now in prison for the rest of their lives. But my favorite story about witless terrorists comes from Baghdad, where the entire class bombed the final exam at Suicide Bomber School. The school taught people around the world how to make, wear, and detonate a suicide vest. But during a demonstration, the instructor accidentally set one off, and he and all 22 students had a premature evacuation from planet Earth. I could go on and on. There are hundreds of more stories like these, but you get the point. As I said, ISIS has been decimated, and now they're putting all their hope into half-wits, and our federal prisons are packed with them. Look, I know we're all concerned over Christmas because of these threats from ISIS, and we should take them seriously and be vigilant because we are smarter and we are stronger. But just realize, this is what you're afraid of, but chances are, this is what you're going to get. I'm Larry Mendte. We'll talk again next week.